Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm back here with D.
Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Will Smith's dark past being exposed. Let's get right into it. Will Smith is one of the biggest movie stars to ever grace the big screen. Known for massive roles in ultra-successful movies like Independence Day, Pursuit of Happiness, Hancock, and Men in Black. He is also known for his mega-hit sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the show that launched his acting career, a show that many grew up watching. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that Smith is a legendary actor, but being in Hollywood for so long almost always leads to corruption of the soul. This is exactly what we have seen with Will Smith. Hollywood is the closest place to hell on earth. The things that these celebrities have to do for a taste of fame are unbelievable. So just imagine what a man like Will had to do to have such a massive career. It is alleged that Will paid a dark price for his success, something all too common in the world of Hollywood. While Will Smith is a massive success in today's world, back before The Fresh Prince, he was an artist that was starting to fall off. According to Will himself, before The Fresh Prince, even though he was a successful rapper, he still was struggling financially. He did make a lot of money in the music industry, but he spent all his money on luxurious items and then dropped an album that ended up flopping. After this, he ended up owing the IRS money for unpaid taxes. During these days, Smith was in a tough spot and needed a big opportunity to save his career. Back then, Will was quoted saying, "We released our next album and it was like a flop. It was a tragedy. It went like double plastic. I had spent all my money and I didn't forget, but I didn't pay the IRS. In my mind, I wasn't trying to avoid taxes. I was just like, damn, they need their money." The IRS took all that stuff, so I was like broke. Being famous and broke is a messed up combination because you're still famous and people still recognize you, but they recognize you while you're sitting next to them on the bus. Will Smith was going through it. He was famous but broke and owed back taxes, a recipe for disaster. All this would change one night when he met Benny Medina, the creator of The Fresh Prince show, who was in the middle of trying to get the show greenlit. Will and Benny hit it off, and Will would end up being invited to Quincy Jones' birthday party. Quincy Jones was the man who would be able to greenlight The Fresh Prince show, as he was the executive with that power. At this private Hollywood party for celebrities and top executives is where Will Smith's life changed forever, but it is rumored it was at a very dark price. According to Will, when Benny introduced him to Quincy, he was excited to meet him since he was a big fan. The moment he saw Will, he cleared out the party and told him to audition for the Fresh Prince role right there and then at the party. Will did just that and earned the role right on the spot. But it is rumored that Will did way more than just audition for his role. It is believed this is when Will was initiated and he had to please Quincy Jones to be able to get this role. It is actually alleged by many in the industry that not only did Quincy turn Will gay, but that he also did the same to Tupac. But that's a different story for another day. For the longest, this all remained just an industry rumor like many others. What makes things even more disturbing is that Benny Medina, who is now a big-time music and Hollywood manager, and the very man who introduced Will to Quincy, himself was accused of R-wording two men. One man that pressed charges against him back in 2004, but actually passed away suspiciously after filing the charges, making the DA drop the charges before things got serious. Another man by the name of Jason Dotley also accused Benny of R-wording him back in 2008 at a Hollywood mansion party. According to Dotley, he met Medina on the day the alleged incident occurred, around late December 2008, when he was staying at the Abbey in West Hollywood. Medina approached him and started making conversation, ultimately inviting him to his house. At this house, Dotley claims Medina grabbed him and pushed him to the bed, telling him he was going to be his. According to Dotley, he pleaded to let him go as he was married. Medina was the man that gave Will his second chance, the man who made Will a star again when he was on the way out. Looking at pictures of the two, you see how Medina seemed way too interested in Will, and I wouldn't be surprised if Medina made Will do some things he didn't want to do to get him that role. But with the recent information that was revealed about Will Smith, seems to change everything. A couple days back, a man claiming to be Will Smith's former personal assistant made some shocking claims on the Tasha K podcast. According to this man who worked for Smith for years, Will Smith is a secret gay man. He claims that he walked in on Will and another actor, Dwayne Martin. According to this man, he claims that both Will and Dwayne were doing the deed, claiming he saw Will Smith receiving love from Dwayne.
Instagram, you see the hundreds of celebrities that I've done business with, and things with. And during the latter years of our relationship, Will was not my friend. I was his friend. I could tell you what goes on the inside. Everybody else is just speculation. And then I saw facts that when I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing, like murder. It was there.
These allegations shocked all who heard them, as they weren't expecting that. Will and Jada both denied the allegations, but people aren't convinced with their responses. Now, it was already rumored that Will was into men for the longest on the down low, but this interview just seems to confirm it. To me, this explains Will Smith and Jada's open relationship and why Jada often embarrasses Will Smith. Some people also think that this is the reason Will doesn't leave Jada after all the embarrassment she causes, because she knows all of his dark secrets. Now, I myself believe these rumors are more than likely true, and Quincy really turned Will out at that party. What all this seems to confirm to me is that Will is truly the one behind his children's gender-bending image. If you take a look at Will and Jada's kids, Jaden and Willow Smith, you see exactly what I mean. First, Will and Jada named their kids after them, but instead of naming their son after Will, they named him after Jada and named his daughter after Will. This is obvious proof of the inversion from the very beginning. Then if we look at these two siblings, we notice that Willow is usually dressed as a boy, while Jaden can often be seen dressed as a girl. This is obviously done to push the Lil Nas X agenda. Will seems to have sold his children to Hollywood so they can be used to push the destructive agendas. Will Smith definitely took the oath. He has been showing signs of this his entire career. We can find Will doing the one-eye symbolism on many occasions. We can also see him doing the Masonic hidden hand pose early in his career, which points to him being a master Mason. He even did this pose during the Oscars where he attacked Chris Rock. Will and his family are obviously being used to push very destructive agendas. This is why they are so successful. Will and Jada are also being used to destroy the values of marriage. The sick people who run our world want to redesign God's holy marriage, corrupting and turning it into a joke. Just like we saw Adam and Lena do, get married just to disrespect God. And those were Adam's words, not mine.
Me and my wife don't believe in God and we got married. Seems like that's kind of confusing to some people.
For business strat. That's why you guys got married.
No, because we wanted to celebrate.
You guys talked about it when you got married. You guys talked about, imagine destroy the sanctity of the Bible. That was a satanic demoralization, alchemic ritual.
I like the way that you're thinking. Because, yeah, I don't believe in God. And maybe what better way to spit in the face of God? Better way to spit in the face of God than to get married.
Well, hold on.
And then let her a large man.
Adam 22 literally has a show right now where he has men competing for a chance to sleep with his wife. You think this is done just for content? No. Adam is being instructed to push agendas through his platform. This and the gang agenda is what Adam is obviously pushing. It's the same with Will and Jada, who publicly air their disturbing ways out for the masses to see, and they're often trying to justify it. Right in front of us, they're reshaping God's given morals. This family is nothing but a bunch of sellouts. So am I truly surprised that Will got exposed by his assistant for doing these strange activities? Not at all. This is the same price of fame we saw Diddy had to go through, the same doors, and they paid the same price. Now, Diddy is going around doing the same to others, and that speaks for itself. I know most people heard this story and they instantly started laughing because people thought it was funny, but this is actually a serious situation. This is what goes on behind the scenes. All of these actors are made to do the same thing. If it's not them wearing a dress or doing a scene that they feel uncomfortable with another guy in a movie, it's doing private party activities like Will Smith did, like P. Diddy does. This is what the industry is truly about. Jada Pinkett was obviously a cover-up for Will Smith, and many people already believe this. They think that Will Smith only got with Jada to hide the fact that he was into men. And many people do this in the industry. They do things like this behind the scenes and joke about it in front of everybody, and no one even realizes it.
That is a man hand. That's a man hand. Hey, the pressure changed, do y'all? Only a man knows what a man needs.
Yeah, this is all very sad if you ask me. And I highly believe that all of this is connected to Will Smith being associated with the Church of Scientology. You even spoke about the Church of Scientology and how it's built off of Crowley's beliefs. The whole do what thy wilt ideology is being pushed through Scientology. And then you have Will trying to deny that he's even connected to Scientology, even though he attends their meetings and even opened up a whole school that was teaching Scientology in their curriculum. Eventually, he would get busted for this, and they actually made him close the school down. I'm pretty sure, just like they did with Tom Cruise and his ex-wife Katie Holmes, they are doing the same exact thing with Will Smith and Jada.
Exactly. Will Smith is connected to the Church of Scientology, and we know how the Church of Scientology works. You're not just a member of the church when you're in the church. You're a member of the church in and out of it, and they take full control of your life. We've already seen it with so many people. Like Tom Cruise, like you said, Tom Cruise is a perfect example. Tom Cruise is open about his involvement in the church, while Will Smith tries to hide it, even though, like you said, he's over here making schools that are pushing this ideology. Everything that Will Smith does ties back to the Church of Scientology's ideology because it comes directly from Aleister Crowley. L. Ron Hubbard was actually a devout follower of Crowley and based his entire religion off the ideology he learned from Crowley's teachings. So, of course, I believe they have a hand in this marriage. I believe they're the ones making this marriage act the way they do. They're pushing the same do it that will agenda, the same Age of Horus agenda that many other occultists are doing within Hollywood. This is why so many people that are in Hollywood run to the Church of Scientology, because it's a cult that doesn't have to hide. They have unlimited power and can get anything done. What they believe in is what this church teaches. So why not join that church and openly practice what they're into without raising any suspicions? This explains it all to me, including the kids and everything that they're going through. I'm pretty sure the church has a hand in with the kids as well.
Definitely. And I think it's sad that Will, just like every other celebrity in Hollywood, has chosen to indoctrinate his children into this at such a young age. It's obvious that he's making his kids dress and act this way. But if he didn't, and for some reason they just chose this image on their own, that all just goes to show what they're being exposed to in that household. Just imagine what these children are seeing. Sadly, this is just another example of children being sacrificed to Hollywood. And I just want to backtrack just a little bit because even if it's not Will influencing his children to act and dress this way, it's what they're being around in the teachings that they are seeing every single day. Obviously, we know Thelema is a thing that they are practicing, and this shows clearly that they are a part of this. They let their kids do what they want. These children dress how they want. They act how they want. That is the message that Aleister Crowley was trying to spread. But it's obvious that they are the ones pushing this on their kids, especially when Willow had mentioned that she wanted to have 2 boyfriends at one time, and her mother didn't even blink an eye to this. A woman who should have sat her daughter down and had a conversation with her about this didn't even say anything, but instead encouraged her to do so. Even that one incident where Willow, at 12 or 13, was laying in the same bed with Rico, the actor from Hannah Montana, who was about in his 20s at the time, she had no problem with that as well.
Yeah, Jada's definitely acting like a handler for her child. Like, she's teaching her daughter how to behave in Hollywood. And it's interesting because Jada herself said that she doesn't respect marriage, that she never wanted to get married. She only married Will because Will told her to marry her, and that she doesn't believe in marriage. This is the agenda that they're using this woman to push. They want everyone acting like this. They want everyone to not value marriage and not respect God and to just sleep around and to do what thou wilt and to follow your will. This is the things that they're pushing, and you can see it all over mainstream, all over how these celebrities behave and how they act and what they teach and how they tell you to accept everything. This is what the do what thou wilt generation looks like. This is the Age of Horus that we're living in. Even the situation with Jada and August Alsina shows you what this is all about. She publicly humiliated Will Smith, and everybody thought that Will Smith was just being made a joke of and all this, but Will Smith doesn't care because this is what they're being used to push. This is exactly the image that they want out there. They want a man that's just willing to let his wife sleep around, and they want a woman who's willing to accept that her man might be into men and women. This is what they're trying to create the new world to be, and you can see that it's even being pushed down to their kids. Their kids are pushing this agenda. Their kids are the new ones trying to make this acceptable. This might all look chaotic and might look like a bunch of nonsense, but this is a well-orchestrated plan, and I believe the Church of Scientology and the Freemasons are behind it.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty obvious here that Quincy Jones himself is another gatekeeper, just like Clive Davis. I'm pretty sure Quincy Jones made Will Smith do the things that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors of Quincy Jones if you just look it up. And they're going to remain rumors because nobody's going to want to back this up and end up in trouble with men like Quincy Jones or even like Clive Davis because they know the consequence. We all saw what happened to Whitney Houston and Clive Davis situation, and we know that Quincy Jones have similar power. This is how the industry works. Will being exposed by his assistant, to me, validates all of the claims that Will is into men and all of this, even if he denies it. What purpose will his assistant have to come and expose Will? Doing this is going to make sure he never has a career in Hollywood ever again. He did this to expose the truth, and he probably seen way more than this, but is making it clear that he spoke out on Will just in case anything happens to him so people can trace it back to him. But it's been an interesting year as we've been seeing so many celebrities being exposed for their dark past. Not that long ago, we saw Akon being exposed by Suge Knight. Then we saw Diddy being exposed with the Keefe D situation. Then we saw Diddy being exposed with Cassie. We also saw Charlamagne the God get exposed by Funk Flex. This seems to be the year that these celebrities are being exposed. And it's not like it's doing anything to their career because these people are still successful, they're still making money, and nothing is happening to them. They're still doing their thing. But that's it for this episode. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day.